Trolls Toys, figure reviews, unboxings and rankings, random figure reviews, similar groupings of figures, and the occasional toy hunt. All right, YouTube Trolls Toys back at you with another episode of Random Figure Review, and we're a day late, but it's better late than never, I suppose. This is episode 44. And I keep getting figures for good prices, and I keep opening those instead of my higher dollar figures. I'm not sure why, but we're going to start out 5 figures, 5 different lines as always. McFarlane Collector's Edition Black Hulk. We got him off of Whatnot for 15 bucks. Right, so can't pass it up. From the Go Calendar Store, Indiana Jones Adventure Series, we got Indiana Jones Professor Indy for $13.50. From the Toy Vault in Mashantucket, Connecticut, I think that's how you say it, where Foxwoods Casino is. They just opened the store there. We got Decker. I believe he's 2012 Masters of the Universe. He's the trainer of Man-at-Arms, 20 bucks. From the Grafton Flea Market, I'm cheating a little bit because he's already loose, but you know me, I love me some 2003 Jakks Pacific. We got Dude Love. Nick Foley in action figure form for 5 bucks. And finishing off, we got Marvel's Owl. Marvel Legends, the Owl, 15 bucks from Whatnot. It says, Crime Lord Leland Owlski vies for a piece of New York's criminal underworld, squaring off against Spider-Man and Daredevil as the Owl. And I don't really know the Owl, but I just thought he was cool with the trench coat and the scarf. The fucking, oh damn, shambles. The freaking hair is amazing, and he comes with an owl because he is the owl. So I don't know, we're going to do something with him, but for 15 bucks, I couldn't pass him up, and he's a keeper. We bought a bunch of Marvel Legends and stuff on Whatnot and McFarlane's and things that I just used for trade credit. And you'll see what we got with that trade credit in this week's Toy Haul video. So we buy figures we don't want for cheap and trade them in for trade credit for more than we purchase them for to get figures that we do want. But he's a keeper from the batch. So is Black Hulk. I think both of those figures were cool, so we're going to open them up in this episode, episode 44. So that makes price point for this episode $20 or less. We have one $20 figure, 2 $15 figures, a $13.50 figure, and a $5 figure. Yeah, I'm fairly confident good old Dude Love is 2003 Jakks. I have a hard time reading the feet on these figures, even with my glasses, because I'm old. But I couldn't pass him up from the Grafton Flea Market. He's very clean to be so old, and for the price that he was. I mean, we got no markings. I think he came from somebody who's a collector, not someone who played with him, which is cool. And I didn't have Dude Love represented. We do have Mick Foley. We just picked up TNA Mick Foley from Rieta Ranch a few weeks back for 10 bucks, and we had the 3 faces of Foley in the box. I did have a Mankind Ultimate, but I traded it away. So we will be we're still on the lookout for a loose Mankind. But Dude Love kicks ass for 5 bucks. I could not leave him behind. All right, we're going to go on to Decker from MOTU, and he's basically loose. I think he's 2012. Like I said, I had to look him up as well, because I don't know all of my Masters of the Universe lore. It has been 40 years. I think I am going to see the movie on Friday, though. So, but I just thought this figure was badass. He comes with the same mace or staff or mallet or whatever the hell you'd call it. I think it's a mace. Right? As a Man-at-Arms, whatever that weapon is. But I just fell in love with this figure at the Toy Vault and knew he had to come home with me. Like I said, I think when I looked him up, he's 2012, I believe. But once again, he's in very crispy condition. And loose is, I got him much more reason why I think than if he would have been in the package. And I knew I was going to open him anyway. I do like this head sculpt, but he does come with a younger head sculpt as well. So I guess it's pick your poison on the head sculpts. I'm going to stick with Old Man Decker, I believe. He is pinned because he is much older, like I said, single jointed. But he's going to display well on my Masters of the Universe shelf. And it's a figure that I did not have And like I said, I just fell in love with the appearance of the figure. So coming in from the Toy Vault, Foxwoods Casino, we've got Decker from Masters of the Universe. All right, we'll stay at the Tanger Outlets at Foxwood Casino, but we'll go to the Go Calendar store. Look at the price I had on him originally, but we got him for two Indiana Jones figures for 27 bucks. So $13.50 for Professor Indy. So this adds to our collection of Harrison Ford action figures now. Once again, Indiana Jones, I just pick up when I find them at what I think are affordable prices. Single jointed, made by Hasbro. But I am a big fan of the films. And Professor, a suited Indy, we gotta have it. Comes with a book. But he also comes with a torch. And this big, gigantic shield. So I will have to go back and rewatch the films. But yeah, obviously we're gonna have to get him equipped. I thought he just came with the book. I was like, that's gonna be a little bit lame, but no. Professor Indy comes with some, and the torch is a bone, so that's cool. Can I get it equipped? All right, so we'll have to figure out somewhere for Indy to carry his book. Once again, I do like these accessories. They don't quite go with this Indy. I said I'll have to watch the movie again. Is this from Last Crusade? Yeah, it is. Indiana Jones Last Crusade. That checks out. So, I'll have to go back. I haven't watched that one in quite a while. I think Temple of Doom is my favorite, but as I recall, but I haven't watched them in several years. But Professor Indy suited Harrison Ford. Yes, please. Interesting note on Owl. I thought I was in shambles right out of the package because these claws they're not like built into his hand like they are with most of the other figures, which is kind of damn cheap. And he's single jointed arms, double jointed knees, but he's got this coat which is hindering his articulation. Not that I'm huge on it. And these arms, I always struggle to get them to turn. There we go. And maybe he might go the route of other villains that we get from Marvel, where I keep him for a while and then I part ways with him, like Prowler. We just said goodbye to Prowler. He was a background figure for a while. Usually the oddballs, I keep as background figures. Like some of the rest, like this Batman is gonna, I mean, I love him, but I'm not really into McFarlane. Kylo is back there, but anyway, so some of these guys, the Red Hood was not Red Hood, but Marvel's the Hood was a background figure for a while. Like this kick-ass Iceman over here is a background figure. We try to vary the background figures up. Anyway, I digress. So we get back to the owl. I don't know what I'm going to do with him, or is he going to remain the owl? We might try to put a different head on him, especially if this scarf comes off, which I think it does. Yeah. Is this jacket removable? I bet it is, but is he gonna have green, he'll have green arms and then whatever, a brown under jacket? Yeah, that would look doofy. But I think we could get this off if we wanted to. Anyway, will he remain the owl, or will he become someone else in Trolls Toys collection? Like, we'll just use him. I'm not big on customizing, but he seems like he might be primed for it. And so we'll see. But for now, we're going to put his claws back on and we'll finish talking about the owl. I do like him. Obviously, I'm spending a lot of time on him. So we got him because of the trench coat, the scarf. He does have alternate sort of gnarly looking hands. And then I just threw one on the floor, shambles. There we go. It looks like that, but you know me, I love me some folks with claws. Like we had Shadow Cat for a while, but we just parted ways with her. I have too many figures, so I will get them on the cheap, keep them for a bit, and then say, do I really need that figure? And then it'll just get traded away for figures that we want more. And he comes with an owl, which is the main reason I think I got this fig, is for the little owl, if I'm being honest. So that's figure number 4. Retro card Spider-Man, Marvel Legends, the Owl. And we're gonna move Professor Indy back a little bit. There we go. So we got the big McFarlane box coming in. Shambles, Owl, just knocked over Savage Land Professor X, who I do like, and you can see he's a background fig as well. And now we're gonna go with Black Hulk. I just once again like the appearance of this figure. I believe this is the regular version as opposed to the Chase. The Chase is a darker blue, but I think I like this one better. All right, last but not least, $15 price point, we got Black Hulk from McFarlane DC. What I know about this figure? Absolutely nothing. But he comes with a card, so we can read about him as soon as we get him on the stand. I read about him a little bit before I purchased him, but I already forgot because I slept since then. So let's see what it says about good old Black Hulk. Real name, Janos Prohaska. I don't know how the hell, I've just butchered that, I think. The post-crisis Black Hulk was Janos, a Polish fighter pilot who fought in the Spanish Civil War. Following the fall of Poland, he traveled to the UK, where he became the commander of the secret Allied Black Hawk Squadron. Black Hawk's team stayed together after World War II and battled communists and supervillains. They subsequently served as both a courier service, Black Hawk Express, and as part of the Checkmate organization. So, okay, good guy. Not sure I would have guessed that. I was on the fence whether he is good or bad. I think I said the same thing when I picked him up. So he comes with a Fist of Fury and one gripping hand, which is interesting because they give us various weapons and nowhere to store any of them. So we get a handgun. We have a shotgun, but no extra hands. I gotta be missing something. Let me double check that. But there's the shotgun, machine gun, a little bit more of a, I don't know, Tommy gun. And I assume, yeah, you can take off and just give him regular hair if you wanted, which I think I would never do, but let's see how that looks. So there he is, just with a regular hair sculpt, which, like I said, probably not going to use. Would definitely keep him this way. I feel like he's got to have this hand being fisted makes no sense. Do we not get any extra hands? All right, McFarlane, what are we doing? How do we get no extra hands? We give him a machine gun, a Tommy gun, and a shotgun, but he only comes with a Fist of Fury and one gripping hand and then the handgun. Seems odd. I don't know. All right, and as always, it's now time to rank the figures from our least favorite to our favorite, understanding we like them all. That's why we purchased them. And I gotta say, I thought Black Hulk was gonna be one of my favorites in this episode. Normally a $35 figure. We got him for 15 bucks. But the lack of extra hands, I'm not normally one to complain, but how does he hold the weapons? Give him another, at least open hand so we can hold the weapons instead of this Fist of Fury. So for that reason, I think Black Hulk is finishing last. Sorry, Black Hulk. McFarlane did you dirty. Fourth place, we're going to go with the Owl because I do like the jacket, the scarf. Am I going to keep him as the Owl? I don't know. I always have good intentions of repurposing figures. I don't know why I keep buying McFarlane's and DC's, McFarlane's and Marvel's other than the main characters, because these peripheral characters I wind up keeping for a while and then usually moving on from. I don't know, but we do have some that have stayed that we've repurposed, like Vulcan drives the Cobra boat. Nakia is a female diver with the Joes. Yelena Belova's on the Joe boat. Hydra's on the Cobra boat. So, but are we going to keep this head sculpt? I don't know. We might try to find another head sculpt that we can work with, but I do love the little owl that he came with. So there we go. There's that. Third place, Professor Indy, suited Indiana Jones, kicks ass. I like it. I do like the accessories he came with. I don't know if I'm going to use them with him. Might use them with another Indy. I know then he wouldn't be movie accurate, but you know, we may do that anyway. Right? Going to use all these weapons with somebody else, I think, from Black Hulk, since he can't use them. Second place, amazingly enough, I love me some 2003 Jakks Pacifics. I do like Ultimates. All you guys can say, oh, Ultimates and Elites are the way to go. And everybody teach their own, but for some reason, I just really like this 2003 Jakks Pacific line. I also like the Mattel WWE Superstars and the MOTU crossovers. But now they're continuing the crossovers. I don't know if I'm continuing down that road. I thought I was done with those. But far and away, my winner for this episode is going to be Decker. I believe, like I said, he's 2012 MOTU. Trainer of Man-at-Arms. Comes with the alternate younger head sculpt. I think I'm going to keep him with this one. He just kicks ass. I just love the way that figure looks. So that's going to be episode 44 of Random Figure Review. Price point $20 or less this episode. So $15, $15, $13.50, $5, $20. So, as always, this has been Trolls Toys. I truly appreciate you watching my videos, and we'll see you soon. Peace.